So I just recently created this planner, and if you clicked on this video, most likely you've been sitting on an idea to create a planner or a coloring book yourself, or you just want to know how to go from idea to creation. And in this video, I'm going to walk you step by step through the exact process I used to design this KDP coloring book planner for Amazon. If you're new here, I'm Latoya Nicole, and a few years ago, I published my very first book, and that grew into a multi-six-figure coloring book business. So now I teach women just like you how to establish and expand your author brand. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend you checking out my entrepreneurship program at bookbaguniversity.com. But like I said, today we're going to be walking through how I was able to create this planner so that if you do have a planner idea yourself, then you can go ahead and get this thing in motion so you can get your book published. All right, so the first step is going to be knowing your niche. What problem are you solving? There's plenty of money to be made publishing planners because people use them to do specific things. From planning their year to planning their next 6 months of self-development goals, planning their social media content. Like, a planner can be very specific to anything. So just think about what you actually need to get organized with in your day-to-day life, and then make a planner for that. If you're a YouTuber and you decide that you need to get more organized with your videos, what days you're going to be posting, what the best times to post are, think about what will be helpful for you, and then go on Amazon and see if that type of planner has been made before and find out if it's selling. As you know, I create coloring books, so I always try to think of things that could complement coloring books because I want all of my products to have coloring pages in some sort. I knew that the new year was coming up, and I knew that as an entrepreneur, we just need to reset and we need to be able to take time to just get ourselves together, right? So I said I'm going to intermingle coloring pages and a planner. And so that's really how I came up with this idea. The next step is going to be your design process. So start thinking about what is going to be unique that makes your book stand out. I have a This Belongs To page, and then I have a yearly calendar, and I have a weekly planner. So really, all the way through, it's basically a repeat of the same pages, but to make it unique, I actually added a coloring page at the end of each page. I have a notes section here. And also, I added quotes, one for each month of the year. So for your design process, you can also use Amazon's Look Inside feature to look inside some other planners that are selling that would be similar to the idea that you have and see what pages they have inside of theirs to get inspiration. You can also use tools like ChatGPT to give you ideas for what type of pages should go in your planner. After I know exactly what pages I want inside of my book, I use Canva to start putting the book together. Canva is a free tool. They do have a paid version as well, but I have used the free tool for years and it works just fine. And there's also freelance sites like Fiverr. You can search on Fiverr for people to create the book for you, but you still are going to need to have the general outline of what you want to include in your book so that if you do decide to hire someone, they understand exactly what you want to produce. You can also purchase pre-made templates. Now, I do offer templates at Book Bag University, so you can go and check that out if that's something you're interested in. I'll leave the link below. But if you do purchase templates, I do always recommend that you make changes to those templates. So don't just publish them as is. Add something to them. Let's say you purchase the interior for your planner. Then try to find a way to make it unique, whether it's making a note section on it, or adding some artwork on the inside of it, or something to make it stand out so that it's not exactly like someone else's. Because remember, pre-made templates, other people may purchase those same templates as well. For step number 3, I went to Midjourney, and so Midjourney can create your coloring pages for you. So the basic plan for Midjourney is around $10 a month. So you would create your Midjourney and Discord account, and then you would sign into your Midjourney account. You would go ahead and start creating your prompt. You always have to start your prompt by clicking on / and then typing in imagine. This is how you would start each and every prompt. And then from there, you would just put in whatever type of image you want created. And of course, if you want it to be a coloring page, you're going to need to insert something like coloring page or black and white lines, or something so that Midjourney will know exactly what to create for you. Once it creates your image, you'll see 4 total images. The 4 images are going to be U1, U2, U3, and U4. This just means that it's upscaling the picture so that it's big enough for you to actually print it. So for example, the planner has coloring pages in it, right? I made these black and white. You can actually take out some of the gray in your images using sites like Canva. But in addition to this planner, I also made a reset coloring book. Now the coloring book is a grayscale coloring book, right? So with the grayscale, it still has all of the gray in it, but this adds depth and creativity in your artwork. So it just gives you a different perspective. But when you're creating artwork on Midjourney, most of your coloring page images are gonna come out with gray in it looking like this. So like I said, you would just give Midjourney your prompt, and then you would be able to upscale that. Then you would go back to Canva, start putting all of your interior pages together. Once you have your interior pages lined up how you want them, you would go ahead and save that document as a PDF file. Then you would start working on your cover. So then you would go back to Midjourney to create your cover, which is exactly what I did here. I didn't use anything else for this cover image except Midjourney, and it printed out just fine. I mean, it looks perfect. I actually love it. I think it pops. So once you have your cover image, then you go back to Canva and you start putting your cover together the way you want it. If you're not a designer or you don't know how to make covers that pop, then you will want to look into hiring somebody for this part of the process too, because your cover is one of the most important steps when publishing on Amazon KDP. And if you're not sure if you have a good eye, or if you're not sure if your cover is great, what I suggest you do is go to Amazon, look at about 2 to 3 competitors' books that are selling and that you see that they have great reviews. Put those covers side by side on a Canva document with your cover and see if your cover stands out just as good as or better than, which is what you're pushing for, their cover. If it's worse than their cover, then you need to ditch that cover and you need to go hire you somebody. All right, so next you're going to want to know your publishing details. KDP has so many advantages. You don't have to worry about customer service. You get to set your price point at what you want. You can publish on KDP for absolutely free. And once you publish, your book is going to automatically be listed on Amazon, which when your book is set up correctly, it puts you directly in front of Amazon's buyers that are already scrolling on Amazon anyway. So it's really one of the most simple places to publish if you're looking to make passive income. But when you get ready to publish your book, you just want to make sure that you know certain things like, do you want it to be paperback like this one, or do you want a hardcover book? What size do you want your book? I chose an 8.5 by 11 for my planner. What amount of money do you want to make from each book sold? Do you want to use your real name versus a pen name? I used a pen name for this book because this had AI generated in it. So my regular coloring books do not have AI generated at all. So I wanted to create a separation in the two. So for this one, I decided to use a pen name. And I'll leave the link for this planner as well as for this coloring book in the description if you want to get one for yourself. But start thinking about the details of your book. Oh, and also, before I forget, make sure you order a proof copy of your book. Now, this was the final copy, but this was the proof copy. As you can see, the proof copy has not for resale, and then the final copy does not have anything on there. Proof copy lets you have the book in your hand, flip through the pages, make sure everything is spelled correctly. Like I had to make a few minor changes in my book. One of the coloring pages, because sometimes when you create coloring pages on Midjourney, sometimes when you see it in person, you be like, oh, I didn't know she had an extra hand. So stuff like that. So then you got to go back and just update a few things like I did with this one. And I made a few changes because on the back, originally I just had this girl in this text, but then I went back and made updates to the back so that you can see some of the other pages that were inside of the planner. And then I also made a few changes to the cover because at first it was going to be called Weekly Coloring Planner, but then I said just going to make it a planner with coloring pages included. So I just made minor changes to it. All right, and the final step is you're gonna wanna sell the book. So once you publish the book, you're gonna wanna get that ching ching, right? So one of the first things that you can do after you first publish your book is get you some good lighting, get a copy of your book, and be like, take you some pictures, girl. Once you take you some pictures holding your book, then you're gonna go on social media where people already love you, right? Where you already have your regular audience. You're gonna go on social media and you're gonna tell them how excited you are about this book, what inspired you to create this book, and then you're gonna let them know the link is in the bio. On your Facebook post, you're gonna say something like, hey guys, I just created this coloring planner. I'm super excited. See? I couldn't find a planner for entrepreneurs, so I created my own. Boom, link is in the bio. And then make sure that you actually have your link in the bio, right? So make sure if you're going to be setting up your website, go ahead and have that set up so that you can include that link. Or if you're just going to be publishing on Amazon, which is perfectly fine when you're just starting, then go ahead and include your Amazon link to your book or your Amazon author page, that when people click, they can get directly to your book and press that buy now button and go ahead and start getting your first couple of sales. That is the process that I use when making my planner. Thank you so much for liking and sharing this video so that I know to keep putting more content out like this. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on the KDP coloring book planner. What parts do you find most interesting or most inspiring? All right, guys, until next time, bye-bye.